Tonight, we profile a man who is thriving behind the scenes, yet his work takes center stage. Some people shine brightest behind the scenes, building brands, creating platforms, and shaping culture. He is one of them, from directing Namibia's biggest fashion stage, the MTC Windhoek Fashion Week, to guiding brands with vision and flair. Kalistu Mokoroli has become a name synonymous with creativity, innovation, and leadership.
Mornings just got better, Namibia. From the latest headlines to the hottest trends, we're bringing you the conversations that matter.
That's right. Bright minds, bold opinions, and a touch of morning magic. This is your daily dose of energy.
So grab a cup and join in on the conversation every weekday morning at 8 o'clock with Smell the Coffee, hosted by Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo.
Joining us today is a brand architect, fashion enthusiast, as well as a leader in our space. Kalistu, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. So you recently actually returned from, attending for the second time. That is the BRICS Plus Summit, Fashion Summit in Moscow. Please, let's start there. What did, being on that platform do for yourself personally as well as professionally?
I think the fact that one is on such a platform, you get international recognition, and to be, invited back to speak at such a international, event where you have global leaders in the fashion space, it's quite very honoring. I enjoyed it much. It was a lot of networking happening, because you want to make sure that when you leave from there, you have the necessary context to further the brand, which is MTC Windhoek Fashion Week, and obviously myself on an international level, because you don't just want to be invited once, you want to be invited to other countries as well.
You want to go for the third time?
I want to go to the third time for Moscow. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to France. I want to go everywhere. You understand? And these are the platforms that allows you to be able to network and spread the wings out there. Yeah.
Talking about MTC Windhoek Fashion Week,
Yeah.
This year marks 10 years of MTC Fashion Week. I want to actually get the story about, the platform and where it started, seeing that we are celebrating 10 years. I wanted to understand, were you in the room, or at the, at the coffee shop when the concept was conceptualized? Were you there from the beginning like that?
Funny enough is, it was conceptualized in a restaurant.
Were you at the restaurant?
I was there.
So who's there? Who's at the table?
Myself, Louis was there, and Thomas was there.
All right, so it's the three of you.
So it was just friends, having dinner, having one of our popular restaurants in Windhoek. And then he said, you know what? We really always travel to different countries for fashion weeks, and Louis was in the modeling space at that time. I was working in corporate, so fashion was quite very new to me. Marketing, PR was my thing. And then we said, you know what, why not start up our own fashion week? Because it's something we love. We do follow, we have friends in that industry. And then we said, you know what, let's look at what would we want to name it. And then that time, the Namibia Fashion Week name was taken. And then we're like, you know what best would be then, let's name it the city.
I see.
Let's name it the city, because names like Oshakati came up, Rundu came out, Swakop Moon came out. Well, then we just said, you know what, best is let's do Windhoek Fashion Week. And that's where the idea started.
And fast forward, it's 10 years this year. What has been some of your standout, highlights over the years?
I think the growth in terms of local designers every year. Before Fashion Week, we only knew a handful of designers. Now we know more than that.
Right. True.
The growth of designers and also the growth in terms of the models, where you can see that the industry in the modeling space is growing, where advertisers are using local models for their adverts. And then the growth of the platform itself, you know, from starting in 2016 for MTC coming on board in 2020 as a naming partner and still continuing with us. It just shows that there has been growth in all aspects of the show.
And for this year, you are celebrating 10 years. What do you have planned?
You know, we want to celebrate everybody that started with us. So, you know, from designers to the models,
From
the
us
team,
also that are
the journalists.
sometimes
You
a bit
know,
mean
I
to you
think-
guys and hard.
I think that you guys really helped us do better yearly.
Thank you.
The critics that came from you guys, and it was honest critics,
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
It was just a decision whether you take it personal or it's
not.
business. So that part of the media came really in handy for us to better every single year. So definitely big up to the media guys. You guys have really contributed, I think, tremendously to the growth of the industry and of MTC Windhoek Fashion, because you've told us, listen, this and this and this is not working. And then we go back and work on it, you understand?
Thank you for listening to us. But you are also a brand architect. What I want to know is when did your journey in branding, you know, start, and what initially sparked it?
It started a few years back. I think it was like 2014. I was still in corporate world.
Before you actually answer, right? Were you also part of the TV show Voigush?
Yes.
Wasn't that 2011?
That's where it all came from. You know, I was one
Tell
of the
us.
executive producers of Voigush TV. It was the first independent entertainment TV show. So we traveled quite a lot to cover events. Locally and internationally, that's the thing. And it had a good run.
Yeah.
We enjoyed
How
it.
many seasons did you guys have?
We did 3 seasons. I mean, like, the idea is still there. We're still thinking maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't.
Bring it back.
So that's where it started, really, the entertainment bug starting to bite.
Okay.
And then in that space, so you know what? I've had a good run in corporate. Let's try our own thing. You know, you need to go out there and fail and then pick yourself up. And then I started my consultancy. First was just, you know, your brand management, working with artists and so on. And then I said, you know what? Let's branch out. Let's start working with different clients. Let me use my corporate network that I've had when I was working there to start getting clients. And that's where it started. And that's where I started working with different clients, such as standard banks and so forth and so on, and different advertising agencies. So that's how I started in that space.
In the branding space.
And I said, you know what? Let me build my own thing. It was first Alvaro Communications.
Yes. And you keep on choosing now as some Kuza.
But funny enough is, it went from Alvaro Communication to Alvaro Media Group. But under that,
Where are we now?
we have Alvaro Media Group
Okay.
that has a stake in MTC Windhoek Fashion Week, in Vaults.connect, which is a men's magazine, and obviously some Kuza Brand Architects, which is just purely a brand agency.
But you have actually taken a step back working with musicians or performing artists. Is there a reason why?
I think there was a focus because we had a lot of corporate clients.
So what are you saying about our artists?
They're still there. We did consulting in terms of guiding and really just getting them booked and so on, but not full-time management, because full-time management is a lot of work.
Yes.
You need to sit, you need to plan this person's life, and you need to plan your life around it, and then you need to make sure that you make money out of this person for you to make money. Whereas corporate guys, they tell you, listen, this is the product, sell it or do with it, and then you get paid for it. But I did not cut off the performing arts completely. Here and there, I still did a stunt with certain artists, but not really showing that I am there. You understand? So some artists really benefited with my face just being behind and they doing their thing, because the focus at the end of the day needs to be on them.
So enough about you, being behind, brands and artists. I also want to know, behind the titles and the spotlights, who is Kalistu, when you are away from work?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Thank you. I'm prepared. Because we always just see you at these events, but you hardly, really get us to have an idea or a glimpse in your personal life.
I think it's I do it deliberately because at the end of the day, I really put out what I want people to know about me. Only my close friends know about me. For me, it needs to be about my work. Understand? You need to judge me about my work that I'm doing.
But how
That's
do
where
you
it
find
is.
that balance? Because, I'm not really a brand person like that, but I've been told also that we need to know about your life because it's part of
Yes.
the package of you being a brand. So how do you find the balance of completely, not telling us about your personal life and making sure that your brand is still very much relevant?
I just focus on putting out work. That's the thing with me. I just focus on putting out work, working on projects, so that I keep people busy with that what I'm doing. My personal life is just there. It needs to remain where it is. You understand?
No, but people
Who I
want to
am
know.
needs to be. They just
People
need
want
to
to
know
know.
that this person
So
that's
who's Kali?
passionate.
Where are you from? Do you have siblings? Do you have siblings? I feel like we need to know all
I
of
have
those things.
siblings, older siblings and younger siblings.
Okay.
I have that. Brothers and sisters. We're quite very close. I think me and my family were quite very close in terms of our siblings. So we talk a lot. We talk daily.
We're nice.
We have a very good relationship. And also, I tend to say I'm an African because there are roots outside of Namibia. And I don't want to say what. Yes,
Okay.
they're kind of...
You're African, that's it.
I'm African because of the different roots that spills over the borders of Namibia. I have Namibian citizenship, so if whoever wants to question that,
You are ready to
I'm a Namibian
provide proof.
citizen. I'm a Namibian citizen. So you're not a Namibian. I'm a Namibian citizen, definitely. And yeah, I love hiking and
Okay.
really
We don't see you posting.
because
going
that's the
hiking.
part that I don't want you to know. I
Okay.
swim daily. That's the part I don't want you to know.
Okay,
Understand?
yeah.
I read a lot. That's the part I don't want you to
That
know.
we know. that we know. But
So that's the thing.
But also, looking back at your journey so far, what principles or values have guided you through the highs and lows of your career? Because you are in a very much, high risk industry, deadline driven. When you are going through your highs and lows, what are some of the values that you can accredit for having guided you until to where you are today?
I think the biggest one would be, I don't know if it's a value, maybe it is, I don't know, people have got their own perception. I think it's the fact that I love making sure things gets done. So I'm a hands-on person. I like communicating because that's one thing that in our industry would either make you or break you. And also the fact that I'm this type of person that's, I want to say peaceful, but a very reserved person. Understand?
Yeah.
That's what's keeping me there. Because if I wasn't that, trust me, I'll probably be a loose cannon and just flop on certain things.
And how do you also just manage to, remain focused to the job at hand, because you are in rooms and spaces with celebrities, and often at times people actually, get lost in just the company, that they are surrounded by. But we know you to always just be focused despite, the celebrities in your circle.
I cut out the noise.
How do you do that?
I literally switch it. I think it's something that I've mastered to cut out the noise, to cut out that, yes, I celebrate our celebrities. I celebrate our artists.
Yeah.
Like I would literally compliment a KP, a Lioness. I'll give them the flowers for the good things that they're
That they
doing.
do.
Even Louis, that's a friend and family member. So the rest of the things I cut out. The noise, I literally just cut it. It's something that I've learned from corporate world, that there's certain things that you need to focus on. There'll be noise around it, but you need to make sure where your path want to go. And I think that really has set me apart from the rest, where I'm able to juggle between the different sectors and industries, because I've learned how to cut out the noise and how to cut out the negativity.
My second last question is, what is Kali busy working with now, in terms of branding, fashion? What do you have for the remainder of the year?
Do you really want me to share my secrets?
Yes, that's why we are here.
I think we've been working very hard to cement vaults.connect on the African space. So there's quite a lot of things happening behind the scenes with media partners and publications outside the country, so that we want to be your next GQ's, your next Vogue. Understand? We want to be that magazine that celebrates Namibians on an African level. So
what is your, how often do you actually print?
So we do every quarter.
Okay.
So with this conversation, we're looking at bi-monthly, and then obviously we'll move to a monthly, where it will be print in a digital edition as well. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm doing. Also, just I'm writing a book.
Okay, that's news headlines. You are writing a book. Okay.
And I don't know the title yet, but it's focused on the truth about the PR industry. Understand? PR marketing, real truth.
I thought you were writing a memoir about yourself.
No, memoir is still early. I'll probably write a memoir after 25 years in the industry.
No, people need to know your story, know how you got to where you are now, and I believe like a memoir is one of the platforms to do that. Yes, we're not saying we don't want to learn about the industry but we want to also learn about the person himself, Kali.
I think the memoir will come. I just feel I don't have enough chapters to do a memoir.
Yeah, you feel like
if I need to write one now, I'm probably going to have like 5 chapters.
What would be the highlights? In the 5 chapters now, what would be the
what is Fashion Week obviously will be one of them. Myself.
Okay.
And also the mere fact that I can sit back and look at those that have trained in the industry.
Yeah,
that gives me satisfaction.
That's a flex. Okay, that's a flex.
That gives me satisfaction, because I can sit and pinpoint in different sectors, mind you, not only entertainment, it's marketing, it's PR, it's manufacturing. It's so as I say, I've trained people that are MDs now as well. I've trained people that are heading up institutions. I've trained people that are lawyers now. And that gives me satisfaction. And that's going to be a very good chapter in my book. And I'll drop names. You'll go you train this person?
We can't wait. I hope it doesn't take us 25 years from now.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not. But as you look ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave in Namibia's creative and fashion industry? And what message do you want the next generation of brand builders to take away from your journey?
I think if there's anyone in the industry, if you really would think of a legacy that want to leave, is to be recognized by the government, to be given the equal opportunity as any other sector, to be invested in, not grants, to be invested in. That's what we need. That's why we're struggling, because we're not getting investments in. There's some institutions that are supporting us, and we're so grateful for that. But I think if one would want to say, you know what, I was part of the creative industry in Namibia, you'd want to look back and say, we fought for that. So that whoever is going to come in the industry, things are going to be easy for them. But for those coming into the brand space, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You need to know what you want. If you're going to do it for the fame, don't do it. If you want to do it, that you want to build a career, do it. Things will be good, things will be bad, but be ready for anything that comes. Because trust me, a tsunami will come in the industry.
Well, there you had it, Kalistu Mokoroli, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making time for us, for telling us your story. You know, we learned so much. Even though, you know, there's still a book pending. We can't wait for the book. Social media handles, where can people get you?
If you look for Alvaro, that's the other name, people. Alvaro _. Trindade.
Yeah.
You'll find me. So it's Alvaro _ DATRINDADE.
Sorry, you see, that's the name I wanted to mention at the beginning of the show, but that's a story for another day. Thank you so much for tuning in on Real Spill. Until next time, it's goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm in a whip for I might just have me a three-way. If you wanna holler, you talking about dollars and leave that she out in the email. Then ain't no ties to no female. Leave that she wants and I put it on eBay. Rocking the force, it's money enormous. So mobile on the freeway. Was in my bag, now I'm in my bag and I'm living comfortable. Remember when I was a simp, now I'm getting wins, I'm feeling untouchable. She was like Hannah Montana, went through the most, now she Miley Cyrus. You better put a damn mask on your money, cause she